Welcome to students of class 9. Today we'll start the fourth lesson, The Kingdom of Fools. In this particular story, you will see about how the two guru and his disciple become victims of this kingdom in which there was a very typical rule to follow daytime for sleeping and nighttime for working. So what happened that the order of the day was changed, and during the night they worked in the fields till their fields run their businesses only after dark. So and go on bed as soon as the sun comes up rather than we wake up. So in this particular lesson you will also see that the people did as they were told for the fear of death, because if they worked any time differently other than that ordered by the king, they would be put to death. The king and the minister were the light of the success of the project. One day, Guru and his disciple arrived in the city, and they were amazed to see this like curfew-like situation, because during the day they had never seen like this before. When they were hungry, the other thing that this saw was that the shops were open. They went to buy some groceries. At that time, they found that everything, including rice, a bunch of banana, or any measure of rice, it cost only a dudu. Dudu is a currency that was in this country, in this particular town, that was used as a measure of to buy things, and they had never heard of anything like this, because any food sold at the simple dudu could do for this exchange of goods for getting it. You have to buy it for a dudu. That was very difficult to digest for this guru, who advised his disciple that it was not a safe place for them to stay here and they should rather go away from here. The guru say to the this disciple that you either come with me or I'll go myself, and he goes away from that place because he knew that there is no scope of any betterment in this kingdom, since the king might order any absurd thing to happen, and that the disciple and the guru himself would be in trouble. So thinking about this, the guru decides to go away, keeping the disciple in the kingdom. But the disciple would not listen to the guru, and therefore at last he goes away. But the disciple eats the bananas and ghee and rice and wheat and grew very fat. It was like a sacred bull. Sacred bull की तरह वो fat हो गया. So one day, a series of incidents now happens, and the allegations of who is responsible for this particular incident is put on in a series of characters that we'll see in this lesson. So one day, a thief broke into the chief merchant's. That's the first incident takes place, and because of the hole that he drills in this wall, it collapses, and the merchant here is to be blamed for the death of this thief. The king, when approached by the brother of this dead thief, tells that justice would be done. So when the merchant arrives, the king questioned him, "What's your name, Your Highness?" When were you at home? He questioning of that person is done. At that time, the dead man burgled at that time. Where were you? He said that that he broke into the wall was weak. The weak wall was responsible for the death of the person, death of the thief, and therefore he says that uh, the murdered person has to, the murdered man has to be, given justice. We have to punish you, and therefore the Lord says you will be punished for that. So who was responsible? The bricklayer was responsible, he says. Now in the story you will further see that the bricklayer is responsible, and when the bricklayer is to be executed and brought at that time, he says that a dancing girl was passing through that place on which he was preparing the wall, and at that time the anklets jingling, she went to and fro from that road, and therefore the lady was responsible for getting the brick done, not laid properly. Though at this point, the dancing girl, who has now become old, is brought, and sees also the question: okay, why did you distract the men who was laying the bricks at that time? The poor bugler, here he says that the person who is responsible for this is the goldsmith, who actually called me and never fulfilled his duty of giving me amount of the amount of jewelry that was to be finished and given back to me after being properly made. He gave me excuses, and never I had to go to him times and again, and that is why the goldsmith was responsible. So at that point, the goldsmith also is called, and what happens to the goldsmith and what reasons are given by the goldsmith, that we will see in the next lesson. Till then, you refer to this topic till here, and we will see the same in the next period, the remaining part of the lesson. Till then, goodbye and have a nice day.